Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, Brad Drake, and this is the American Wrestling Association. Tonight, everybody, it is the big one. We have SuperClash II tonight, and what a card we have in store. Not really. It's actually a really bad card, but we'll get to that later. So the original show was held here at the Cow Palace, and we're going to double check to see if we can even remotely fill this stadium. We only have a couple thousand fans expected, which is actually about what the AWA really drew in the Southwest region. And we're not going to blow unnecessary money, especially at this point. So we are not going to be running the Cow Palace. So let's take a look and see what else is available to us here, and we will run that instead. Okay. So we can run, we got a bunch of different opportunities here in California. Oakland, right across the street from San Francisco. All right. We can run Lowell High School Gym. We can run the WARFIELD. That's exactly, what is the WARFIELD? Let me look this up real quick. If it's an outdoor stadium, we could do an outdoor stadium. Either way, we are good to go. All right, we are going to run the WARFIELD. Excellent. The venue is selected. Let's see who's missing tonight. Sherry Martel is missing tonight. We needed her to drop the title to Madusa Miceli. Super Ninja is not available. The Mercenary is not available. And Alexis Smirnoff is not available. So, let's take a look at our card for this evening. We're going to have to make some changes. So, Madusa Miceli is scrapped. So, let's put Candi Devine against Madusa Miceli. Candi Devine's a former champion, so we will put her in there. We're going to mark this with an asterisk. And now we can't do DJ Peterson and Super Ninja, which was not going to be a very good match anyway. So why don't we put Kevin, well, we can't put Kevin Kelly. Yeah, we can. We can put Kevin Kelly in there. All right, why don't we do DJ Peterson versus Kevin Kelly? Okay, another asterisk. And now the Terrorist and the Mercenary. The Mercenary is not available. And the backup is not available either. So let's take a look here. Alexis Smirnoff was our backup for that team. Why don't we do Colonel DeBeers? So we have the Terrorist and Colonel DeBeers. versus Russ Francis and Jimmy Snuka. This one also gets an asterisk. The rest of the card is good to go here. So let's take a look and see what's going on with our backstage incidents. Leon White got himself in some trouble. He did not show up with his meeting. We're going to fine him. And Wahoo McDaniel is doing some protege work with John Paul. All right. Everybody, Super Clash 2 was not a good card. We had a good main event. We had an interesting six-man tag. And the rest was pretty much garbage. And I don't know why they ran such a bad card, but they did. So we are going to keep things as realistic as possible, as we've already gone over. We had a lot of people that are not going to be available. And we're going to run the actual show, and let's see how we do. All right. Asterisks mean that we've had to change the match due to somebody not being there or other reasons, which, of course, we just went over. So let's give our card a rundown here. Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey is going to battle Greg Gagne in the opener. We're going to see, you know what, we're going to change that right now. DJ Peterson and Kevin Kelly in the opener. Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey versus Greg Gagne will be the third match. Okay, so our second match is going to be the Terrorist and Colonel DeBeers against Russ Francis and Jimmy Snuka. Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey will face Greg Gagne. Madusa Miceli is going to battle Candi, Devine. Boris, Zhukov is going to face Jerry Crusher Blackwell in a singles bout. We have a special six-man tag. Buddy Rose, Doug Summers, and Buddy Wolfe will face Ray Stevens and the Midnight Rockers in our main event, everybody. We are going to see perennial contender Curt Hennig challenge Nick Bockwinkel for that World Heavyweight title. Here we are, everybody. Super Clash 2. Let's get to booking. And, of course, this was not a televised event. So we have Peterson versus Kelly in the opener. And here we go with DJ Peterson. And here is Kevin Kelly. We're going to leave this one open-ended, everybody. The AI can decide the winner of this one. And once again, this is not the greatest of cards, but we're going to make the most of it. All right, the Terrorist and DeBeers versus Francis and Snuka. This especially was not a good match. And just so you know, Jimmy Snuka just got signed to the WWF. So here is the Terrorist. Here is Colonel DeBeers. Here is Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And here is his partner, Russ Francis, who is not good at all, despite being a second-generation guy and despite being around wrestling his whole career. So we are going to have Superfly Snuka get the win here, everybody, because that's what the fans want to see. And this one, my friends, is in the books. All right, next, we're going to have al-Kaissey versus Greg Gagne. They are going to go 14 minutes. And here we go, al-Kaissey versus Gagne. And I think we all know who's going to win this one. Sheik Adnan al-Kaissey's real opponent was Buck Zumhoff. And he is not going to be in any of my companies in any save ever. If you don't know why, look it up for yourself. Total scumbag. All right, there we go. al-Kaissey versus Gagne. Gagne gets the W here, everybody. Madusa Miceli is going to face Candi Devine. Another 10-minute bout here. And we have Miceli versus Devine. Here is Madusa Miceli, still active to this day with the NWA, the revival of the NWA. And here is Candi Devine. And we are going to have Madusa Miceli get the win because she is in line to be the next champion. We're just going to have to figure out when we can do it. All right, there we go. Madusa with the win. We have Zhukov versus Blackwell up next. And this one would probably actually be a decent match. I think highly of Zhukov. And here we go. Boris Zhukov against Jerry Blackwell. I'm going to leave this one open-ended. Doesn't matter to me who wins. And these two are booked. I worked with a guy for a while that looked exactly like Jerry Blackwell. All right, up next, we have our big six-man tag, which is going to be a 20-minute bout. And we have Rose, Summers, and Wolfe Excuse me 1 second. I have to clear my throat. All right, I am back against Stevens and the Midnight Rockers. And of course, Ray Stevens was a huge draw in the San Francisco area after spending decades there. Here is Doug Summers, and here is Buddy Wolfe. And here we go with Ray Stevens and the Midnight Rockers, the reigning World Tag Team Champions. All right, and we are going to have Ray Stevens get the win over Buddy Wolfe. Just like the real deal, everybody. Two buddies in a match. You catch that? Catch that, buddy? Here we go. Here comes our big main event. And we are going to have the big payoff here. This one has been building for a long time. Hennig versus Bockwinkel for that World Heavyweight title. And for those of you that don't remember, this match had a screwy finish involving Larry Zbyszko and a roll of dimes. So here is Curt Hennig. That would eventually lead to the heel turn of Curt Hennig and the babyface turn of Nick Bockwinkel. I'm not going to do that. I want to give the fans a straight finish here and not give them a classic AWA finish. Curt Hennig, everybody, is going to become the new heavyweight champion of the world. So here we go. We're at 127 minutes. This one is ready to go, just over 2 hours. Big event here in San Francisco, California. Let's go ahead and start the show. Let's see how we do. All right. DJ Peterson beats Kevin Kelly with that second rope diving shoulder block. 49 overall for these two competitors. We have the Terrorist and Colonel DeBeers against Russ Francis and Jimmy Snuka. Ron Francis is a former hockey player. 60 overall on this one, and Jimmy Snuka outscored everybody with an 80. All right, up next here we have Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey against Greg Gagne. Gagne wins with the Gagne sleeper. 57-52 gives us a 57 overall. See the difference here, everybody, of 10.1, huh? A lot more realistic, just the way you wanted it. Let's see the takeaways. Adnan al-Kaissey's got declining physical ability. Besides that, everything's looking good. Ooh, our ladies match gets a brutal 37 here as Miceli gets a 34. Devine gets a 37. Miceli wins with that German suplex, 37 overall. Got some red text to doom there. That is expected. All right, Zhukov and Blackwell, they each get a 44, and Blackwell wins with a submission? What? His finisher must not be in the game. We'll get that straightened out as time goes on. And we got some major penalties for poor selling, inconsistency, and stamina. All right, up next, here's our big six-man tag. We get a 68 score here as Ray Stevens pins Buddy Wolfe with the bombs away. 68 overall, and we can see our scores here. And Ray Stevens actually had a really good score. Buddy Rose outscored everybody, which at this point is probably accurate because Marty Genadi and Shawn Michaels are not what Marty Genadi and Shawn Michaels would become. Let's see our takeaways on this one. Wolfe, declining physical ability. Stevens, declining physical ability. Inexperience on the part of Michaels and Genadi. And this is understandable, but not a bad score at all. 68 overall. Our main event should do well. Curt Hennig only scores a 62. Nick Bockwinkel scores an 85. And the world heavyweight title has changed hands here, ladies and gentlemen. Curt Hennig is your new heavyweight champion of the world. 78 overall. Now, let's take a look. Bockwinkel's got some declining physical ability. Let's see what we do overall. We get a 76. Not bad at all, everybody. Not bad at all. We're going to point out Nick Bockwinkel, who carried this one. We're going to point out Buddy Rose. And we are going to point out Curt Hennig. All right, Bockwinkel, great performance. Buddy Rose, great performance. Curt Hennig, good performance. We're going to make that speech. Bockwinkel is pleased. Buddy Rose is pleased. And Curt Hennig was very happy with our speech. Excellent. This one's going to take us back to the main screen. And we are back to our touring schedule after this one, everybody. And let's wait for the page to load, as we've gotten used to doing with this huge file that takes a long time. And Blue Demon Jr. was a good wrestler, future NWA heavyweight champion of the world. All right, let's take a look here at our incoming. Colonel DeBeers doesn't care much for Kevin Kelly. Fair enough. Championship Wrestling aired. Got 366,000 viewers. Not bad. And what do we got here? Buddy Rose wants more money. Ooh, he wants a lot of money. We'll give him a 75% pay increase, and we're getting to the point we might not be able to afford our staff anymore, everybody. Everybody wants a pay raise, so we know we are losing Jimmy Snuka. Hey, Windy City ran Battle of the Belts 1 just a couple years in advance, and we got a ladies tag match on top. Yeah, right. 43 overall. Not a good card. Not a good card at all. This AI flat out scares me sometimes, the way it runs stuff. All right, that's going to do it for us, everybody, here for Super Clash 2. And we're going to be back in action with another tour date the next time we meet here. For those of you that are new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us a message below. For those of you looking for us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/group/1987supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit under the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. Don't forget, we're also on Discord under 1987 Supermod. Everybody, I want to talk to you about Wrestling Fans International Association. The WFIA was a powerhouse in the 70s and 80s as a fan organization, and we have plans for it to become one again. Please consider joining. It is free to join, and with your free membership, you will receive a free subscription, digital subscription, to the Wrestling Fan News. You will receive privileges such as voting and other privileges that only members of the WFIA can get. Check it out right now on the WFIA.org. That's THEWFIA.org. Last but not least, everybody, make sure you check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. You can get all of these shows early and YouTube ad-free. You can also get access to 10.1 of the Supermod and access to all of our spreadsheets. Not to mention, everybody, special shows and bonus edition shows are there on Patreon. So check it out today, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.